Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm making, it's Saturday, and it was snowing, now it's raining, about 40 degrees out, and today I'm making mini atomics. Now I'll show you the first step in making mini atomics is to cut the can, and the next step is what we're doing right here. Every one of these has to be scrubbed out in hot soapy water and all cleaned right out before we go to the next step. So that's where we are right now, and the next step is to go back out to the factory and drill a hole in half of it. Now it's taken me years to perfect this and get everything so it works correctly. I had to really get creative because everything you do to these, you have to have a jig to capture it for that particular step. Whether you're cutting it off or drilling a hole in it or expanding it, it has to be supported because the cans themselves have no strength whatsoever until they're all put together and sealed. Now there's some advantages to this stove. This is a pressurized stove, so it has a lot more positive vapor flow. It's better in the wind, better in the cold. But on the downside, you have a thumb screw you have to mess around with, and it requires a pot stand. So everything's a trade-off. Like the BIOS doesn't require a pot stand and doesn't have a thumb screw, and it works pretty darn good. This just works a little bit better. Okay, I've got these all annealed, and after doing 20 of them, I'm kind of a little hypnotized, so I just got to kind of sit here a while, maybe go by the fire and warm my hands a little bit and shake it off. Kind of hard on the eyes and hard on the nerves. Usually if you're going to lose one of these when you're making a batch of them, you'll lose it usually annealing. And it's really, really easy to overheat one and mess up the edge on it, and then that's done. But that's done now. So the next step is to resize them, and that's pretty straightforward. I don't usually lose any on that step. Okay, I've resized them. I've assembled them. Half of them with carbon felt installed. I've hot roll crimped them, jetted them, put in the rivet nuts, put in the thumb screws, and I'm on the home stretch now. All I got to do now is wrap the wick, and I'm done. Okay, I just finished the wick on 20 of these, and the rest of the day is mine. I worked on these about a little less than 4 hours. We'll call it 4 hours. I stopped and had some dinner in the middle of it, about 4 hours. And there's 20 of them here, and they sell for $20 a piece, so that's $400 worth of product in 4 hours. I made about $100 an hour, maybe a little bit more than that, enough to cover materials. My net cost, my net gain on it will be about $400. So that's good. The traditional stoves are probably quite a bit more lucrative than a lot of other things I make, like heat bottle remotes and stuff like that. This sell a lot of soda can stoves. Not sure what I'm going to do the rest of the day. It's very overcast and it's just lightly raining off and on. It's in the 40s. So we'll probably go up to the dump, the transfer station. Look around up there, and a couple of antique shops I usually go into every few days. Stand around and talk to people. Chew the fat, they call it, up here in Maine. Now, I'm looking into different subject. You might get a kick out of this. Looking into health insurance. And I want to give you my spin on health insurance. I don't spend a lot of money on health insurance. I get a checkup every 3 months, 4 times a year. The checkup is, the blood test and everything is like $100, and the doctor's another 100 and something. So anyway, between the two of us, Sue and I, and prescription and everything, we probably spend, I don't know, $3,000 a year. Now, if I get a health insurance policy with this new system, it's going to cost me to get one that it's worth its weight in anything, water. It's going to cost me $5,000 a year, and then I'm still going to have, every time I go to the doctors, I'm still going to have to pay all the bills and pay for all the prescriptions until I meet the probably $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 minimum before they start paying anything. So in a nutshell, if I continue to be as healthy as I am, I'm going to spend $5,000 a year and still pay all my medical bills. I'm just going to give away $5,000 a year. The only thing I'm really doing there is making payments on the money to pay for a major injury like a heart attack or a stroke. Now, I've looked into strokes and heart attacks, and they're not that much fun, not many grins and giggles in them, so I don't think I'm going to have a stroke or a heart attack. I think I'm going to continue to take care of myself, get plenty of exercise, eat right, pay attention, and I don't think I'll have a stroke or a heart attack. And if I do, whatever it costs, I'll just have to make payments on it. Don't kid yourself. If you don't have insurance and you run up a $250,000 bill on a heart attack, they're not going to take your house away from you and put you out on the street. They'll ask you to make payments on that, and the payments for me would probably be $100 a month. Certainly wouldn't be $5,000 a year. I don't make that much money. I've made payments on hospital bills before. So I don't really see any advantage right at this point in time to me getting health insurance. Just doesn't, mathematically, just doesn't make sense to me. My father had a heart attack in his 40s, but he was very overweight. He was diabetic and didn't do anything about it. He just, whatever. And his blood sugar got high. And he was a chain smoker. He smoked Camel cigarettes without the filter, lit one off the other, smoked them all the time. So between those three things, yes, no wonder he had a heart attack. I'd had a heart attack by now if I was 100 pounds overweight and had my blood sugar up around 300-400 all the time and a chain smoker. Sure, I'd have a heart attack by now. But I don't smoke. I'm not overweight, at least not much. And I have my diabetes under control. I get plenty of exercise, take my medication, I watch what I eat, I keep my blood sugar down, my A1C is low, below 7. Other than for scare tactics, when people say, well, if you have a heart attack, you'll lose everything. They'll take your house, they'll clean out your bank account, they'll take your car. Nah, I don't think that. I don't buy that. That's what my brother thinks, and he certainly can't afford health care. But anyway, that's my spin on it. Let me know what you think. Maybe there's something I've overlooked. Anyway, I just made $400 and I got the rest of the day off. It's only 1 o'clock. Life is good. I'm Tinny from Mini Bull Design. Get out and hike. Take a friend. Enjoy the great outdoors. And more important than anything, try to have some fun today and try to have a really great day. Bye-bye.